It's a Monday morning, May 2nd. Came into the shop, basically just opened up the whole area. It's pretty nice. It's still rainy, but nice and warm. So just to ventilize everything. And probably today, I'm just gonna clean up this car. Probably do some maintenance. We had to drive up to Montreal this Friday. So probably do an oil change, spark plugs, and you know, fill up some air on the tires, and just some regular maintenance if I could get to it. I'm waiting on the one of the customers from a long time ago, and just have to change a tune slightly for he's relocating to an area that doesn't have 93, so probably do that. And I'll have to work on this pulley. Arrow was working on it, but whoever installed it just put it just extra tight that even if we put in the gear and everything, it will still turn. So I'll probably have to make a tool, or you know, find out the trick to take this pulley off so that we could put this together. And if I can get to it, maybe I'll just slightly tune Sandy for a bit. I have like a bunch of mailing issues to catch up, so that will be my agenda today. Just worked out this morning, feeling okay. I actually kind of went to sleep late, but yeah, I feel great. You know, and everything's nice and clean. Before I left, I cleaned it up, so yes, feels fresh. We happy or no?
Yeah.
We happy or what? Yeah, so we're just waiting on the bumper for this car. I mean, headlights are just temporary. It's the owner has the headlights, and basically everything's done. No lights or nothing. Back to factory. Factory wheels, wheel caps. The hood is back on, and now we have this car. We're just gonna start working on for the turbo kit. So made an order for the turbo build on that 3.8. We ordered the spark plugs, gauges, and some meth kit here. So let's see. All right. So the 304900 from AEM. This is the wideband and boost together. Fail-safe gauges. Very great. Very good. Probably, you know, you can't go wrong with the AEM wideband. Very accurate boost-wise. So it's all in one. So you don't have to buy two gauges, and they actually work for both wideband and the boost. And some spark plugs for the orders, and the AEM order meth kit. Recently, we noticed they actually changed the design of the tank. Not sure why. Now I noticed that they have their AEM logo engraved to it, so maybe that's why. So that being said, we had to change the bracket design on our order meth kit bracket. So the previous model was actually a little longer and thinner. This is more, you know, a lot wider and looking a little different than the other design. And what we noticed is also it only has 4 holes instead of 6 from the previous design. And the bottom end is like it's narrower in the bottom, so I guess when you run out of meth, it's not like low. When it's low on meth, I think it actually collects in that little container on the bottom. So I guess it's a better design, and hence why they changed it. So I'm just gonna probably work on this bracket as well today and go from there. So the stock intake is removed. We're gonna remove the front bumper. Just gonna set up for tomorrow. Drain the oil. Go from there. All right. So Aaron's left, and basically I went ahead and made a newer design for the newer tank for the AEM meth kit. So basically everything's mocked up. I already made a bracket and everything, and basically just gonna shave the edges so you know it's not too sharp, and that's where it's gonna pretty much show. So just on the top part, I mean this is the aluminum, so it's light, it will not rust, but I just wanted to make it a little bit nicer, you know, something that we could throw in while I edit. So simple bracket design, and you know, another L bracket to mount it. And so far, you know, just simple design and just one bolt. Been holding 1 gallon meth, no problem. So just if anyone's wondering, that's more than enough for just one hole to just kind of mount it. And where we mount is basically there's a factory location where on the tail light, I don't know if you can see this, but there's actually a little stud, I would say the bolt coming out, which connects to the 10mm nut, and that's all there is. So that goes to that side of the trunk, and the pump will be hidden underneath. So it'll be a very simple design. Since this car is black, I'll probably just spray the top with nice black paint. That's just the primer and filler. So I'm gonna actually go ahead and weld the return line bung while this is getting dried, and I'll probably do like a few coats just to make it nicer. So oil pan's been dropped before Aaron left the shop. The spot I'm looking for is this over here on the block. It'll be a best ideal location. So I have this fitting here that we carry in stock. It's a minus 10 AN fitting, and it'll be nice and clean once it's all said and done. And worst case scenario, if you ever go back to stock, you know, you could chop it off and weld it from inside, or just cap it off, and that's all there is to it. So all right, so painted a few coats here, and basically drill a hole here, and it's pretty much the perfect fitment. It could just sit on here, and just gonna weld this around from inside. So brought the welder here and just did quick welding there. May not be the prettiest weld, because obviously no one can make a nice beads inside. I was more concerned about melting both materials together without damaging. That's the AN fitting up top. You know, you've seen like people doing like silicones and stuff like that. I mean, it'll still work and stuff, but you know, nothing beats just permanent welding. So that'll be good right there. All right, so basically just mocking off the intercooler. I mean, it's not really like bolted it down or anything like that, just to give myself some ideas what to expect tomorrow. Hey, what do you think about the work I did last night for you?
Not too bad, not too bad.
What? You didn't say that earlier? What did you say earlier?
You did a good job. Don't get cocky now.
What is that again?
You did a good job. Don't get cocky now.
What about the meth tank? The bracket?
Good job.
Looks good, yeah?
Yeah.
And what are you doing now?
Taking out the filter housing.
Oh, the filter housing. And basically replaced a Moshimito, and then put that oil pan back on, right? Yeah. Wire brushing the oil pan, so all the factory silicone nice and clean, and new applied silicone will stick together. This is already nice and clean, so they can stick together nicely without anything leaking from your oil pan. You know who work on the car and leaks the oil pan, right, Aaron?
What?
Who leaks the oil pan? Cleaning up all the pipings in the solvent. And what it does is, tell us what it does.
It's just cleaning out the oil that was left behind. It's a mineral solvent that breaks down the oil, makes the parts look shiny.
For a clean install, right? Nice and shiny. Taking the bath. Alright, so it's Thursday. Came into the shop again. It's always the same thing. I'll probably release a vlog for this one today, and since we're gonna be, driving up to Montreal tomorrow, and Saturday it's gonna be all-day event, and we're trying to drive back on Sunday, so it's gonna be very harsh. I don't think I could release the vlog anyway. So yesterday we had like few Canton guys came in and got them all taken care of. I just didn't get the footage, and Aaron was working on this car. So this is the meth kit, the mount that I made. It's gonna be pretty nice and clean once it's all said and done, and the paint came out very nice. But so since we're using the BK1 Turbokits, there were a few things that they changed. I mean, obviously the main pipe going to the throttle body, that's because obviously it was meth based for the BK1. This is map based, so you have map sensor here instead of the meth sensor. And that BK1 map sensor was huge, so the piping needs to be made. And initially the coupler for the turbo kits, I mean, this is the 100 pi, I don't know, I think it's like 5 inches or something like that, and has another coupler that's silicone, connects to the throttle body. So instead of that, it's gonna have a piping and map sensor on there. We're gonna make a bunk for the meth kit, and probably just reuse that to chop it in half and connect it from here. And also, I mean, that's actually like obvious changes. But the downpipe and cat, the flanges were different on the BK2, and the headers were sticking out more than BK1s. So we just had to do some modifications. Aaron actually took care of it, so we lined it all up, and we're gonna take it all apart again. And Aaron's gonna actually clean up a little more, put the heat wrap, everything, before we put this back on. So that's how it's gonna sit. And we did put a protection tape, because obviously aligning the turbo and downpipe, whatever, it just it could just damage your factory paint. So that's where I'm at, just waiting on Aaron. He's actually stuck. Turnpike got like shut down or something around his area, so he's just running a little late, but we're not gonna actually stay too long. But our goal is to actually align everything, put it back on, get the heat wrap, and I have some catch up to do before I leave. So perhaps vlogs is gonna be very short, but that's pretty much for this week, and you're gonna see more footage of us in Montreal and the event. Just doing a quick spark plug changes. The car has about 28,000 miles on it. Spark plug actually looks good, but since we're up in the boost and everything with the tune, I am going to go with the 1422 one-step colder plugs. Maybe it's actually two-step colder, and that's been working out for all the GDI guys, the 2.0, 1.6, and even the 3.8 guys that are turboed. This is the 1422, and just a little tip here. I think I showed this before. Let's say you're trying to pull out your spark plugs, and you don't have that socket that doesn't pick up the spark plug like that, then just use your coil and just shove it in, and it'll just bring it out. So it's just a simple thing to do. And also when you're putting it in, don't drop the spark plugs into the cylinder, just because you know you could just change the gap, you know, just hitting it. Some people just force it down, and that's really no good. So hold up with just torquing it down. You know, you don't gotta force this, but still needs to be tightened down. If it's just too loose. So I like how they made the Santa Fe undercover. Has a little like caps that you could undo, and you could just get to the plug for the oil pan, and also the filter. So I just hit Aaron in the back, and that thing actually just flew off like crazy. What the hell is that though? Because I thought that was for the jet scoop.
It's payback now. This is the rear bumper.
Oh, for Sandy, I guess. All right, so yeah, I just feel bad, so I'm just gonna let him like hit me this time. So I'll hit it like a man.
That was a good one.
Go over. You say it fucking hurts.
I told you it hurt.
Oh shit! Where did it fly out?
It like broke in a couple pieces. Just flew out.
Oh.
Did it hurt?
Yeah, bitch. It hurts, you fucker. Aaron's still working on the downpipe, and this front bumper showed up, so I put whatever we have here to put it together. The owner's gonna have him paint it, so just put the undercover back on and all that stuff, and pretty much ready to be picked up. There's some little vacuum, quick wipe down the interior, and going back to the office. Alright, one more car gone. Three cars left.
We're back from the dead.